Potatoes for your whole day.
Yes.
In every way. Well, just 2 ways. What's up? It's Kat and Dev from Two Market Girls. Welcome back to another vegan recipe. Not just one recipe, 2 recipes, because we're doing another challenge video.
But this challenge was like really easy, right, Devin? Like it was an easy ingredient to work with.
I'm gonna say no, actually.
Oh, why?
I was like super indecisive because I was like, there's so many simple ways to use it, I guess, that I was like, what can I do different? What can I try? I have to think.
So because it's such a common ingredient, you were struggling with trying to be creative with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I forgoed creativity on this one altogether. I was so lazy, and I've been making this recipe like constantly the last 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this one.
I mean, eventually that's what I did too. I was like, why don't I just make the thing that I love to have? Like the way I love to cook it.
Exactly. So it's the potato challenge. I love potatoes. Potatoes are so good.
Who doesn't?
I don't have them enough because Hutch doesn't like them. And I don't know why.
That's weird.
Not human. Who doesn't like potatoes? Like it still just boggles my mind.
Yeah, I don't know what potatoes would have done to hurt him, but
I don't know.
What did you make, Catherine?
So I went super simple with my recipe today and just did like a classic roasted potato, thyme roasted potato, because like it literally, this is what I've been eating for like lunch all week. I like make a big batch of these and eat it for snacks throughout the day. I eat it for lunch. I add it to burrito bowls. Literally, it's one of the best recipes I've ever made.
Can't go wrong.
Exactly.
And then I decided like my favorite way to cook potatoes is to cut them up into like home fries and put them in the air fryer with some seasoning. That's my favorite thing for like a Sunday breakfast or brunch. So then I thought, why don't I try throwing some tofu scramble in the air fryer too? And it works and it's awesome.
So we kind of have similar ways of cooking our potatoes. Like mine's in the oven, yours in the air fryer, but they're essentially just roasted potatoes. But yours is like breakfast function and mine is more like side dinner function type thing, even though I've had this for breakfast this week.
Potatoes for your whole day.
Yes.
In every way. Well, just 2 ways.
Alrighty, should we get into the recipes?
Yes, before we get into them, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future vegan recipes every Sunday and whatever Wednesdays every other Wednesday. And let's go make some potatoes into other potatoes.
To make some crispy roasted potatoes, we're gonna start off by chopping up some potatoes into about 1-inch pieces. We're gonna add those to our baking pan, tossed with a little bit of avocado oil. You can also use olive oil here if you'd prefer. Then we're gonna sprinkle with some smoked paprika, salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and fresh thyme. And then we're just gonna toss that until it's all nice and coated. I added a little extra salt at the end before baking them because I decided I wanted some salty potatoes. Then we're gonna bake these in our oven, preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna cook them without touching them for 30 minutes. We don't want to turn them prematurely because we wanna make sure those bottoms get nice and crispy. Then when they come out of the oven after 30 minutes, we're gonna gently toss or flip the potatoes. Try not to be too rough with them because then their skins might peel off. Then we're gonna cook those for an additional 5 minutes. Then we're gonna turn on our broiler to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna cook the tops for about 5 to 7 minutes or until they get nice and golden brown on top.
To make my air fryer tofu scramble and home fries, we're gonna start by getting the home fries ready. So you're going to peel and dice some potatoes. Peeling them is optional depending on if you like the skin on, feel free to leave the skin on. Once they're all chopped up, you're gonna add them to a bowl and then drizzle with some olive oil and toss them so they're all coated in the oil. Then you're going to sprinkle on some steak seasoning. Now for reference, the seasoning that I'm using has garlic, onion, pepper, salt, mustard seed, dill seed, paprika, chili pepper, coriander, and sunflower oil, but you could use any kind of steak seasoning that you have around. I've just found that it has a really good flavor when it's cooked onto the potatoes. So then you're going to toss those potatoes so they're all evenly coated in the seasoning and the oil, and you're going to add them to your air fryer. Now, my air fryer only cooks at one temperature, and that is 360 degrees Fahrenheit. So keep that in mind with these cooking instructions and the timing. So you're gonna add those in and you're gonna cook them for 20 minutes. Now, my air fryer also has a paddle that rotates the food around as it cooks. If your air fryer doesn't have that, I would recommend stopping halfway through the 20 minutes and tossing them so they get flipped around a little bit and they're not all cooking on the same side or in the same place. While the home fries are cooking, you're gonna work on your tofu. So in a small bowl, we're going to combine oil, nutritional yeast, chili powder, more of the steak seasoning, turmeric, liquid smoke, and some black salt, and then just mix that all together so it's all combined. Then in a large bowl, you're gonna crumble your tofu into chunks and then pour over the seasoning mixture and mix that all together so it's coated all over the tofu. Then once your potatoes have cooked for the 20 minutes, then you're gonna add your tofu into the air fryer with the potatoes, and you're gonna cook that for another 10 minutes. Again, if your air fryer doesn't have a paddle or something, stop halfway through and toss things around so it gets evenly cooked. And after the 10 minutes, if your potatoes are looking nice and golden and your tofu is cooked to your liking, then you're done. You can also serve this with some other sides. So I sauteed some spinach, some mushrooms, and some tomatoes to add on top.
Oh man, potatoes are so good.
You know what?
I just love them so much.
Also just wanted to do French fries.
Yeah, I also was thinking of doing like a baked potato, like a loaded baked potato. I remember a while ago when I made that like one with like cheese and broccoli and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that, but then I was just having this so much this week that I was like, you know what? I'm loving this recipe. I gotta make it.
All right, next time do the cheesy one though.
Maybe we'll do a baked potato challenge next time.
No, okay.
All right.
Eat?
Yeah,
You're already eating.
I've been eating since the intro. Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
They've
I feel fancy with mine.
Huh?
Mine feels fancy with the other stuff I put on it.
Well, did you put sriracha on it or anything?
Peri-peri sauce.
Oh, delicious. Mine have like de-crispified because they've been sitting here a little bit, but they're still delicious.
Me too.
These are so good. I've been adding them, so like I said, having it as a snack, but I've also added them to like bowls that I've been having, so like mix them with the rice a little bit as the base. So good.
But my secret ingredient for this whole recipe is steak seasoning.
Ooh.
It's so good.
Interesting.
Try it.
I don't really have a secret ingredient, to be honest. I used very common things that like would go on potatoes. This is like a very basic recipe that you can get on pretty much anyone's blog, probably.
That's okay. We always need the staple recipes. They're key.
I think my total voiceover was like a minute and a half or something.
Oh, this is...
This
was fun.
Honestly, potatoes, I love potatoes. You know what'd be really good? So, you do a pan of like roasted potatoes like I did, and then you top it like nachos and put it back in the oven to like melt the cheese and toast all the toppings. Oh my god, that'd be so good.
I almost made that too because that's actually something that my family eats.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
We do sweet potato nachos.
Ooh, fancy.
I know.
What kind of potatoes did you use for yours?
Just like basic white, yellow
Yeah,
potatoes.
me too. I have been using russet potatoes for this recipe the whole week. I don't know why I didn't do it for the video. I think I ran out. But you can use pretty much any potato.
Yep, same here.
For this.
Same here. All right, in the comments, I feel like we should share potato recipes because I want to know more. I was so indecisive. Please share your favorite potato recipes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And we don't have a polling option for our challenge videos anymore, but in the comments, tell us what you think of each of the recipes. We don't have to vote on whose is better because I think we're over the competition. Really, it's a challenge because it challenges us.
Yeah, we've also never been like really keeping track of who's won them anyways, so.
No, of course not.
Devin, have you won most of them?
No, I don't know. And as usual, the recipes will be linked in the description box below. There's also a link to our podcast. It's called Camera Eats First. It comes out every Monday, everywhere that you get podcasts. We talk about veganism, we talk about how we make our recipes, how we run our blog, and we keep you up to date on trending news topics in the vegan world. There's also a link to our patron community. Our patrons are a lovely group of people who help support the work that we do, and in exchange, we give them some bonus content. So if you're able to support us, we really, truly appreciate it. But if not, that's okay. Give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and share it with somebody who likes potatoes, wants more potato recipes, needs to learn that potatoes are good, not bad, like Hutch.
Yes. I've never understood people who eat mono meals, like where it's just like one ingredient is their whole meal. Like
That's
usually, like it's like very popular, I think, in the raw vegan community where they just eat like a bunch of fruit or a bunch of raw vegetables where it's like one thing. I never understood it until I was given a full tray of potatoes. I could eat potatoes as a whole meal.
That's the one exception.
Yeah, that's the one exception. It's just give me a tray of roasted potatoes and I am happy. Like I'm halfway through a kilogram of potatoes right now.